In the dead of winter 1967, a man named Leonard Lewin made a claim that would echo through the decades. He said he was contacted by a member of a secret group, 15 of the world's most brilliant minds, who met not in some university hall, but in a nuclear-hardened bunker burrowed deep within the earth, a place called Iron Mountain. Now, this special study group, commissioned by the highest echelons of the US government, had a single terrifying mission: to figure out what would happen if the world actually achieved lasting peace. Now, for most of us, peace sounds like the ultimate goal, a utopia we all strive for, but for the men at Iron Mountain, it was a catastrophe in the making. Their final report, a document that would become one of history's most chilling and debated texts, painted a picture not of salvation, but of societal collapse. And as we dig into its pages, you'll see why the ideas born in that cold, concrete bunker feel more relevant today than ever before. The first bombshell the report dropped was this: war isn't some unfortunate breakdown of politics, it's the absolute foundation of the modern state. The panel argued that what they called the war system is the only thing that truly allows a government to hold on to power. Think about it. War provides the ultimate social glue. It creates a powerful external enemy, a threat so great that it forces the entire population to unify, to accept the authority of its leaders, to pay whatever taxes are demanded, and to willingly surrender their children to the machinery of the state. The report's logic was cold and inescapable. Without the constant looming threat of death from an outside enemy, who would the people blame for their problems? Who would their frustrations turn towards? Their own leaders. The conclusion was as stark as the bunker walls. For any government to survive, it must have a credible enemy. And if a real one doesn't exist, one must be manufactured. But the panel's analysis didn't stop at social control. It went straight for the money. The scientists at Iron Mountain came to a stunning realization. The entire global economy is fundamentally built on waste. And war, they concluded, is the most perfect, efficient economic engine ever designed. It consumes staggering amounts of resources, steel, oil, technology, and human labor, and then, in a blaze of glory, it destroys them. This cycle of production and destruction is crucial. It prevents what the panel saw as a grave danger, a society that becomes too prosperous, too independent, too wealthy. According to the report, lasting peace would lead to an overaccumulation of wealth. People would have what they need. And this, in turn, would shatter the established social hierarchy. To keep the powerful in power and the system intact, the state must find a way to burn through billions upon billions of dollars on things that have absolutely no use for the average citizen. If not on bombs and fighter jets, then on what? This question led the panel down an even darker and more prophetic path. They spent months brainstorming what they called substitutes for war. They needed something that could inspire the same level of fear as a nuclear bomb, but with the persistence of a Cold War. Their first suggestion sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood script, a threat from outer space. By faking an extraterrestrial menace, they argued, the nations of the world would be forced to unite under a single global authority. They would willingly hand over their national sovereignty, all to protect the planet from the invaders. But their second suggestion was the one that truly sends a shiver down your spine, especially today. They proposed creating a global environmental crisis. The report outlined how, if the government could convince the public that the very planet was on the verge of collapse, it could justify anything. New carbon taxes, sweeping travel restrictions, and a level of total surveillance previously unimaginable, all implemented in the name of saving the Earth. Does any of that sound familiar? A crisis that requires global cooperation, personal sacrifice, and grants governments unprecedented power over our lives. From there, the report descended into even more disturbing territory. It wasn't just about control and economics. It was about our very psychology. War, the report suggested, provides a necessary and vital psychological release for humanity's natural aggression. Without this outlet, the panel feared a rise in what they termed anti-social behavior. Society would unravel from within. Their proposed solutions were horrifying. They seriously discussed reintroducing modern forms of blood sports to placate the masses. They even explored a new kind of institutionalized slavery hidden behind the euphemism of national service, all to keep the youth disciplined and occupied. The core argument was that the quality of life for the individual must be sacrificed for the stability of the system. In the cold logic of the Iron Mountain bunker, the individual is nothing, the state is everything. A world of managed misery, they believed, was far better than a world of unmanaged, chaotic peace. When the report was eventually leaked to the public, the government immediately denounced it as a sophisticated hoax. The author, Leonard Lewin, later claimed it was all just satire, a dark joke meant to provoke thought. But here's the thing. As we stand here today looking at the world around us, the satire feels frighteningly like a script. The manufactured enemies that change from one decade to the next, the endless string of emergencies that demand we surrender our freedoms for safety, the controlled economic collapses that always seem to benefit a select few. It's all there, page by chilling page. In the end, whether the report from Iron Mountain was a genuine leak, a clever fabrication, or a prophetic satire doesn't really matter anymore, because the world it described is the world we are now living in. The uncomfortable truth might be that we aren't waiting for some new world order to arrive. We're already inside the mountain. Thanks for watching. If this made you think, be sure to follow for more deep dives into the hidden corners of our world.